I mean, we might be live, we might not be live, to be completely honest. This is my first time using the new software, so we shall see what happens, eh? Right. So here we are. AI, October 11th. October 11th for you in the States, October 12th for me over here in the UK. I wanted to start talking about the AI bubble, the hype bubble. Is the investment bubble ready to burst? And the answer to that question is yes. The AI investment bubble is about to burst. But that doesn't mean that the AI space is overhyped. Now, that might sound weird, but let's see if we can break it down. Right, if we go back to the web and mobile, we saw exactly the same things. Things get really frothy, things get really cool, and money just starts pouring in from absolutely everywhere. So you've got the big deals, like the Grok and the XAI deals, and the OpenAI deals, and the Anthropic deals. And if you're watching this, chances are you are not going to get anywhere near those ever. Like, I mean, they are a million miles away from you. So what is it you do? What you probably do is invest in crazy stuff. You invest in stuff that you can get your hands on. Hey, Shell. You can get at these kind of startup deals and these people that have got an idea on a napkin, and you put money in that. And then you've got the second and third tier VCs. No offense to you guys, but they then put $5 million in this, and $10 million in this, and $50 million in this. Now, they're not crazy because they're running a VC model. Right? They're looking for 1 in 18 things to pop. So they can afford 17 things to go wrong and 1 thing to go right, and they make their money back. That's the way their market works. For the rest of us, we don't operate on that kind of a dice, right? We need to roll double sixes every time. That's what we need, or we at least need to roll maybe 3s or 4s, but we don't need to roll 1 in 17. So they're putting their money into all these ideas. These things then blow up. The public come in. They go, oh, this is crazy. But meanwhile, Nvidia is currently valued at the same as all the pharma companies put together. Okay? Nvidia is based the same market capitalization as all of the pharma companies put together. Why is that? It's because the future is AI. I mean, it really is that simple. We're not talking about a better mousetrap, which is what we used to talk about. So we used to say, hey, I've got this accounting software, it's super cool, and I'm going to take 10% of the market share of QuickBooks. Right, okay. What we're saying now is, hey, if I can get this piece of AI software to work, I'm not just going to replace QuickBooks, I'm going to replace CPAs, and I'm going to replace tax disputes, and I'm going to increase your tax efficiency by 10% at the same time. Right, so we're not talking a better mousetrap. We're talking, in this analogy, eradicating mice. It's a weird analogy, but you get what I mean, right? We're not talking about a better mousetrap, we're talking about eradicating mice. So each of these bets that people are putting down in the space of AI and investments, they're not betting on a better mousetrap. They're betting on a change to the fabric of everything. So their TAM, their total addressable market, is not 1% of 1% of 1%, which is what it was in a traditional SaaS model a couple of years ago. They're now saying, hey, we think that we can replace the entire infrastructure of finance or commerce. Okay, I mean, that's not a small job, right? So from the VC's perspective, it doesn't matter if they win 1, twice, 3, 4, they win 1 in 5, they win 1 in 10, they win 1 in 20, because the win is potentially trillions. Trillions and trillions of dollars. So, is the investment bubble about to reshape? Yeah, 100%. It is. Is the AI hype about to disappear? Absolutely not. The AI hype is here to stay because the AI hype is real. It's not even hype. It's valid. It's everyone that picks it up. And everybody follows the same curve. I was speaking to a influencer or thought leader recently, and he went through exactly the same thing. Like, I hate this thing. This thing sucks. This thing's terrible. And then he had an injury and had to start finding another way to be productive. And within a couple of days, it's like, oh my God, this thing is amazing. This thing is the best thing ever. And that's the way it goes for literally everybody. Everybody starts with this kind of like, what is this chat GP thing? Like, you tell me I've got to use? I don't get it, right? And then maybe they write an email. Like, wow, that's cool. And then they put it down because they found 10 seconds worth of productivity. And then they go a little bit deeper. Then they find the next thing, and then the next thing, and then they get their eureka moment. Now, it's different for everybody, right? It's different for absolutely everybody, but it's like putting your hands on Excalibur and suddenly realizing that you've got the ultimate secret weapon. Right? The thing that you need to do, that used to take you hours to do, can now take you minutes to do. As an example, I used to spend like a couple of days putting together these pitch decks. Right? A couple of days each time. Now I did 7 today. Like 7, right? With a little workflow of Manus to do some deep research, Claude to write it in my tone of voice, and then Gamma to make it look pretty. Like kadunk, 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 kadunk. 7 of them. That would have taken me 14 days. So I wouldn't have done it. Right? So what I'd have done instead, these were like sales presentations. I'd have gone, hey, thanks very much, to recap, and I'd have written an email. And instead, I can now send a rich presentation that tells the story I'm trying to tell so much better. So not only does it decrease the time frame that it takes me to do the stuff, it increases the effectiveness of the things I do. And I'm seeing that across every area of my life. And everybody that I know that picks this up gets the same win, right? They get these hyper efficient and effective moments. So they can start working out where they're going to put the rest of their time, which is super cool. So this is, I'm going to be doing this every day for the next 100 days. That's my commitment to myself. That's my commitment to you. I don't know what's going to come of it. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know if anyone's going to show up. I don't know if it will just be me and Liz and Shelley for the next 100 days. Or I don't know if there's going to be tens of thousands of you. But either way, I'm going to do this for the next 100 days. Because I kind of enjoy live. I kind of enjoy just answering questions and hanging out and chatting about all this AI stuff. Whether it's like super hyper tactical stuff. Like how do I use Manus, or which image generation is better than another image generation, or whether it's like really, really high stakes, is AI going to take over the world and kill us all stuff. Either way, I'm here to answer questions. So today I just want to talk about that, the investment bubble, because I heard a couple of people talk about it. The investments are all going to come to crash, which is true. There is going to be this massive fallout. And at the same time, that doesn't mean that the hype bubble is going anywhere, because the hype bubble is based on real. What AI stack do we need? That's your thing. So Shelley, that's a great question. So for everybody, the question was like, what AI should I be using? What's my AI stack? And it really does depend. So for almost everybody, I would say the first thing is the 0 to 1. Right? So if you're not using like Google back in the day, believe it or not, that was a thing. My answer would be, it doesn't really matter whether you use Google or Yahoo, searching is better than not. So if you're not using AI, just go for ChatGPT. It's the best all-rounder across the board. If you are already there, you're like, yeah, I've got that, I understand that, then different tools have different jobs. So if you want data analysis, thought partner, brainstorming, ChatGPT is the best out there right now. These things change, by the way. They change like by the week. So, hey, next week I might say something completely different. Claude, if you want to write stuff, easily the best. Claude 4.5 Sonnet is superlatively good at writing. You can say, this is a style of writing, or this is my writing, or I like this person's writing. And then you can say you want this framework, like the Problem Agitate Solve, or the Ada, or the Pasta, or Russell Brunson's soap opera. And it will take your style of writing, your subject, your ideal customer, your offer, smush them all together, and give you them on a plate. So if you want basic thought process, brainstorming, I would go for ChatGPT. If you want writing, I would go for Claude. If you want deep research, my preference is Manus. And for image generation, I would use Nano Banana as my go-to. And there's some other tools around there, Gemini, Descript, depending on specific use cases. So, hope that helps. So, ChatGPT is the all-round friend, Claude is the writer, and Manus is the deep research tool. Now, tip for everybody, centralize your context documents into something like Google Docs or Google Drive. So what I mean by those is for every one word you prompt, you need about 500 words of context. For one word in a prompt, 500 words of context. So if you say, I write me an email about XYZ, like a 20-word prompt, you're probably looking at 1,000 words of context. So the easy way to get great results is to have a preset set of context files. We call them the Rosetta Stone. So you have a Google Drive, and in there you have your offer sheet, you have your values, you have your ideal customer, you have your do's and don'ts, you have your products, your services, you have any background research, like the teachings of Russell Brunson, or the teachings of Stephen Kotler, or Tony Robbins' ability to create a group experience. So you have these Google Docs. So whenever you jump between these systems, right, because as soon as you start jumping between the systems, you start losing memory. You're going to want to be able to preload the memory. So what I do is I have a Google Drive, and in there I've got agent knowledge. And so whenever I go into like Manus, or I go back to Claude, or I go back to ChatGPT, I just hit upload from Google Drive, select the files, and put those in. Some people call those a master prompt as well, which gives it context on your life and your background. So I hope that helps. So if you're going to use the different systems, you want to make sure that you can carry the context between the systems. So having something like a Google Drive with everything in it really helps you out. All right, so midnight, Sunday, October 12th for me. I will be back tomorrow. This was my my first day was yesterday. I just went live on YouTube. This is my second day, so now I'm doing it through OBS and Restream. Woohoo! So tomorrow's elevation will probably be custom thumbnails, or maybe like graphics across the bottom. I don't know. We shall see. But each day we're going to keep doing this, and each day we're going to keep doing it better. So by the end of the 100, I am a genius at live, which I'm not yet, but I will be. So with that said, I love you all. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.